Heck yeah, man, we're coming back in here with some more World Junior conversation. And in this video, what I wanted to do was go over a Montreal Canadiens guy that we haven't really been talking too much about over the past few years, even though he is a player that, in my opinion, I was actually pretty high on heading into the 2019-20 season, which happened to be his draft year. Let's go over the captain of Team Czechia at this year's World Juniors and Montreal Canadiens' second-round pick in 2020. He is the brother of Lick, Jan Mysak. And I was joking about that, he doesn't have a brother named Lick. In fact, that's just a meme that was done to fool Craig Button. But Jan Mysak is a guy that's showed off really well at the World Juniors so far, so I thought I would use this as an opportunity to discuss him as a prospect, go over the year he had, as well as go over some comments that he made regarding the team that drafted him and their other drafting decisions as well. So, Jan Mysak, as we said, he is a Czech-born player. He's 20 years old, 6 feet, 181 as a left-handed forward. He has his entry-level deal, so he's signed on until 2025, and he's a player drafted by the Montreal Canadiens in the 2020 draft, second round, 48th overall. The reason why I was super hyped up for Jan Mysak heading into the draft season was because the year prior, he was actually a member of HV Litvinov in the mainstay Czechia League. He had 7 points in 31 games played, which is absolutely phenomenal for a 16, 17-year-old guy suiting up in that league. He also was over a point per game in the playoffs. So, taking a look at what Mysak did, he played another season with Litvinov, he had 9 points in 26 games, and then he made his way over to the Hamilton Bulldogs, getting 25 points in 22 games with that organization. And unfortunately, even though he was a point-per-game beast for the Czechia team in the playoffs the season beforehand, he just didn't really show off the same pizzazz, skill level, and consistency, I feel, that made him a prime conversation for being a top pick in 2020 the year beforehand. This is why he slipped down the draft rankings and he was taken in the second round by the Canadiens. Eventually, he went back to Litvinov, had 1 point in 11 games played over there, and he also played for the Laval Rocket, getting 2 goals in 22 games played too. Not really all too great if you go by the pure numbers perspective. This season, though, he went back over to Hamilton in the OHL, was a point-per-game player once again, and sure, you could say, hey, the guy's 19, 20 years old, what the heck is he doing being only a point per game in the OHL? We just made a video talking about Josh Brook yesterday and how his 20-year-old production in the CHL was point-per-game territory, and a lot of Canadiens fans got overhyped. But either way, all point production metrics aside, Jan Mysak is a guy that actually did exhibit a lot more of the skills that we wanted to see out of him in this Hamilton Bulldogs season. 34 goals, 30 assists, he had some pretty good goals in there, and some pretty clutch goals too. And we know that the Hamilton Bulldogs were a good enough team to win the OHL championship. He had 11 points in the 17 games played in the postseason, and 2 goals in 5 games at the Memorial Cup. But heading into this season's World Juniors in August, he was named the captain of Team Czechia. So far, throughout the tournament, he has 4 points in the 2 games played that he has had. He had a goal and an assist against Team Finland yesterday, which ended up being a Finland shootout win. Mysak won the draw on the power play, which led to, I believe it was a Jiricek one-time bomb that passed by the goaltender. And then you had yourselves the game-tying goal with 7 minutes left in the third, where Mysak, absolutely ugly goal right there, just throws it on net from the side of the goal and it goes in. You get him any way you can, man. That's how you get offense done in this league. And Jan Mysak, so far with 2 points per game as the captain of the Czechia team, is indeed exhibiting those skills. Now, the reason we're making this video is because of some comments that he made after one of the first World Juniors games, wherein his response kind of did go viral on Twitter. The video will be linked in the description if you want to go ahead and watch it. It's on the Elite Prospects Twitter page. But pretty much, they went out there and they asked Mysak, the captain of the team, what did you think of your Montreal Canadiens drafting Juraj Slafkovsky instead of Shane Wright? Did you have an opinion of that entire transaction? Mysak then replies, for me, I see Juraj Slafkovsky as a really strong player. And I also played the whole year against Shane Wright, so if I was a GM, personally, I'd be picking Slafkovsky too. And then he goes out there and he gives a smile to the camera, and a lot of Canadiens fans are like, darn, okay, what a comment for that guy to be able to make, eh? Normally, when you hear the conversation, oh yeah, I played the whole year against Shane Wright, you would think, oh, it means that he's exposed to Wright a lot. It means he knows how good Wright can be, and it probably is a little coin deposit into the Wright first overall jar, right? But he's like, no. I see Slafkovsky as a really strong player, and I played the whole year against Shane Wright, so, personally, if I was a GM, I'd take Slafkovsky over Wright as well. Now, I don't know if he's going out there and gassing up his own team, saying, yeah, my team, the Montreal Canadiens, made the right decision, and I agree with it because, yeah, they're my team, and I would probably be under heavy scrutiny if I said I disagreed. But even to throw in that little detail that he did play against Shane Wright the entire year, yet he still would have taken Slafkovsky first overall. I guess the interviewer should have gone out there and asked him, hey, would you have taken Nemec over Wright? Would you have taken Logan Cooley over Wright too? Because you gotta remember, Shane Wright did not go second, he went fourth. And so, look, I guess it is a conversation that is worth bringing up because, look, at the very least, I mean, Slafkovsky is bigger, he is stronger, and I guess in the eyes of a lot of people, they'd say that he was a physical specimen out there when he was given an opportunity to show off his skills and shine. Now, I was actually going to look up and see, okay, was Jan Mysak on the Czechia Olympic team or the World Championships team? Would he have played against Slafkovsky there? And no, he wasn't. In fact, the only place he would have been able to play against Slafkovsky was at the World Juniors last year, wherein he had 3 points in 5 games as the captain of Czechia, and Slafkovsky was on the Slovak team, although he had 0 points in 5 games played. Now, I don't know what happened in last year's tournament. Did they actually play a game together or whatever? But, like, this would probably be the only time they would have to share, I guess? I mean, there isn't really anything else here, I feel. And then for Shane Wright, of course, Mysak played the entire season against him, so it's a lot different when it comes to knowing his tendencies and how he plays the game, I guess. If Mysak is looking at Shane Wright in the same way that a lot of the Twitter scouts are looking at him, oh, he's lazy, he doesn't backcheck, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, then he might just not understand the lethality and what Shane Wright actually does on the ice that makes him so effective. In fact, I'm doing this right here. Let's go over onto Shane Wright's game log in the 21-22 season and see how he produced against the Hamilton Bulldogs. Okay, November 27th, 2021, 2 goals and assist for 3 points. Then you have 2022, January 16th, 0 points. January 21st, 1 assist. Hamilton again on the 30th, 0 points. February 13th, 2 assists. February 19th, 0 points. And then the next game was on March 18th, 1 assist right there. So aside from the first game that Wright had against Jan Mysak and the Hamilton Bulldogs, he didn't really do all too much against this team. And I can understand from Mishak's POV if he's looking at it and saying, oh yeah, that Shane Wright guy's supposed to go first overall, but look at how many times we shut him off the board and gave him a 0-point game. Is he really that good? And this is sort of where I feel the flaws in Shane Wright's game, or not even the flaws, but just the idiosyncrasies of his game really come into play, because it's like, yeah, Shane is not really a player that is always going to be like balls to the wall, 110%, Nathan McKinnon, he's always rushing up and down the ice like he's a madman, chicken with his head cut off kind of material. No, Shane Wright is very methodical. He'll strike when there's an opportunity, and he'll usually make the best out of those opportunities. But when it comes to forcing something that's not there, he's not that sheer power of will, domineering, overarching force that other players tend to be when you see them progress to higher levels of play. Shane Wright is the ultimate he's not dangerous until he is type of player, and that's what sets him apart from a lot of these other difference makers that we have seen get drafted in high spots in the NHL Draft. Now, Wright still has a sky-high ceiling, because when he is playing at his best, man oh man is this guy absolutely unstoppable. He is a beast, he can score goals like crazy, he can play make like crazy, he is a very smart player. It's just, I guess, Jan Mysak is going out there and saying, yeah, no, big, strong guy, Slafkovsky. I'd take him over Shane Wright, even though I played against Wright the entire year and I know what he's about. Todd with the console, your thoughts about the Montreal Canadiens prospect Jan Mysak. What do you think about his play at the World Junior so far for Team Czechia? What do you think about Slafkovsky over Wright? And how do you think Shane Wright's game translates to somebody that has been playing against him the entire season, yet still says that Juraj should have been number 1? Todd with the console, your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.